Well, there's nothing better than homemade, and when you're talking about fresh pizza and pasta, forget about it.
All right, Tony Soprano. I mean, Rob, you're telling me. Delicious doesn't begin to cut it at Dalmata Italiano in Rehoboth Beach. Let's check it out in this edition of Foodie Friday.
If you're looking for a spot that will remind you of Nona's cooking with a playful twist, the proof is in the pie at Dalmata Italiano in Rehoboth Beach. The pizza dough made fresh every single day, and that's where we start.
Make your crust first, and you push all the dough to the middle so that when you're spreading it out, it doesn't get too thin in the middle there.
And the title of A Good Cheese Pizza is literally in the name for this pie.
Mozz. This is sharp provolone, fontina, a little bit of Parmesan.
And don't blink, because it's time for the White Lightning Pie. Garlic confit puree, fresh mozzarella, fontina, and...
This is a mix of cremini mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, and maitake mushrooms into the oven.
While those beauties are baking, Chef Craig Clifton gets to work on a carbonara made with fresh pasta and mouth-watering guanciale.
Get it crispy. I still want it to be a little bit chewy too, so it's sort of in between there. You want a little bit of the water in there. Essentially just heat it and toss it. And you'll notice how it starts getting creamy. The starch from the pasta is thickening up in there. Fresh pecorino romano. Egg. Back on here. And finish it with a little more fresh pecorino. That's it. Simple.
Back to the pizzas, which get a little extra TLC.
This is fresh oregano, a little parsley, and some pecorino. Ricotta cheese, kale.
If I had to come up with one word to describe this pizza, I would call it umami. And that is because there is a lot of umami going on in here between the mushrooms, the roasted kale. I mean, it's just beautiful.
You got all these nice different umami mushrooms, earthiness, and almost every texture I can imagine. So rich. It's like a pizza sundae.
And the cheese pizza absolutely lives up to its name.
So this pizza is just really satisfying. The crunch on the crust is really nice and crispy, and then I love how Chef has kind of drizzled that little extra bit of olive oil around the edges because it kind of just adds to the levels of flavor that are going on.
And may even surpass it, according to Foodie Photog Mike.
Just a great slice of pizza all the way around.
Now it's time for the carbonara, which, if you're anything like me, will keep you dreaming about it.
That is so comforting, just such warm, creamy flavors. The pasta is homemade, so it's a little bit of a different ball game than the stuff that you're working with out of a box at home. It's just got such a nice chew to it. The fat from the guanciale is really awesome too because it's kind of just melted down and incorporated itself into this dish.
All of the saltiness and the richness from the guanciale and the cheeses is like nice and subtle. Because it's such a high quality ingredient, you really don't need a lot of it to get that lovely flavor out of there. The pepper, honestly, is a great complement to the guanciale as well. And it kind of almost wakes up the palate a little bit.
Now, what y'all didn't see in that package was Chef Clifton. He made us some fresh focaccia bread. That was like getting a hug eating that bread, honestly. It was so good.
Oh, I bet it was.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there watching this and my mouth is literally watering because you remember I got to try a slice of the cheese pizza because you brought some back as you do typically with Foodie Friday to the newsroom. And I got to tell you, this was some of the best pizza I've had in a long time. And get this, Delmarva, it was cold when I ate it.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, people were pretty much fighting over it. If you go to Dalmata Italiano, tell them you saw them on Foodie Friday. And if you have suggestions for me and Mike, tell them, send them to us at newsroom@47abc.com.